Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP!
That is all of Simon's energy gone now.
That's it, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Especially with the today's.
Oh, God. I'm trying. Yes, it's YOMP. It's the old movie podcast, the only movie discussion podcast that is on the internet that you'll ever hear. And who am I joined by? I'm joined by the lady who has light in her eyes, G-Star Games.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to this week's episode of YOMP. I'm G, and with me is the no light behind her eyes, Sophie.
Fucking hell!
Yes!
Wow!
Savage!
Damn!
I'm dead inside. Welcome. I'm Sophie.
Oh my God!
And I'm dead inside.
It's got dead eyes like a shark, like a doll.
Like a doll's eyes.
Sophie actually has really gorgeous eyes, though.
Oh, shut up,
does.
you. Oh, you.
Green eyes.
What is
right?
this?
She's got
Yeah,
green eyes.
green.
They're
What is
Lovely
this?
eyes.
Was this a Flatter Sophie episode? Because I don't think I deserve it after this.
Oh,
This
I
week.
mean,
No, let's start off with being nice to her, and
Yeah.
then
That's fine. I'm ready.
Just give me a minute. Think of something nice.
Do you like my cats?
I love
your
your cats. They're great. I love your style, your sense of style.
Thank you.
I love how obsessed you are with Oblivion, a game that is just redundant since Skyrim came along and did it all better. Oh no, I'm going off now.
Oh no.
So why are we upset with Sophie, aka Bouphe, today? It's because we had to watch a Neil Breen movie. That was her pick last week.
Luckily, it means I'm completely locked out of this week's selection
Thank
process.
God. This is, of course, Yomp's second Neil Breen movie, the first being his fifth film, Twisted Pair, back on episode 4, which was the fifth episode of YOMP, which was Sophie's second movie pick. And this is Sophie's sixth movie pick, which is Neil Breen's fourth film, Pass-Through.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
That was so much
see-
information.
Yeah, but you see what happened? I picked the fourth film on the sixth episode and the sixth film on the fourth episode.
Oh my God. I don't know what this means, but
It means that you don't want to be my friend anymore.
Well, these, relationships can be tested by certain things, and
If we can make it through this, we can make it through anything.
that's true. That's true. If we make it through this episode, stay tuned. This might be the last ever. No, we do have to do the live one.
Yeah.
We do have to do the live one. Contractually obliged, so there's no getting out of that one.
Hooray!
Hey.
So,
Can I start
Why?
off with saying that I took... So I've got, I don't know what size this is. It's not A5, but it's not A4, the size of paper that I use. I took 10 pages of notes.
What?
oh my God.
Like, I had to try and keep up with what was going on. It was so much happening.
There was nothing happening. What do you mean?
Yeah, there was very little going on.
There's a lot of events.
A lot of drone
Wow.
shots, man. Like,
This is
Oh my
Neil
God, there's a lot of
Breen's.
filler.
Neil Breen rented or bought a drone, and you can tell.
you
so-
can tell.
There was a point during this which I wrote down that it was like, it feels like someone's tape that they've made, and they do like wellness retreats, and they do like inspiring things on YouTube and things, and they've got this self-help tape on how to be a better person, and that's what this feels like.
When there's the shots of Neil Breen and Viad the tiger, it feels like it's like he could be talking to like young men on the internet, and he's like, "You have to release your inner tiger.
Yeah,
don't be a pussycat. You are an animal. You're wild. You're feral. You shouldn't be tied down by a 9-to-5 job.
exactly.
You have to go out there and make your own way, earn your stripes. You know, that kind of thing."
I'm inspired. Don't know about you, G.
Yeah.
You feeling that?
Yeah,
You feeling that, or is it the fact that we need the bathroom?
I think I need the bathroom. I'll be real with you.
You're just full. Your bladder's full to bursting with Neil Breen.
Yeah.
You just gotta let it out.
Why is G put us at the spirals going on?
I literally just opened up a page on Tumblr, and that was the first image, and that reminded me of the spiral that he was standing in the middle of.
Oh,
he's standing in the middle of an Archimedean spiral.
Literally, and the post says the 4 different spiral patterns found in nature. Holy shit! The man is a genius.
The one that he was standing in was made by nature. Brenius!
No. What do you mean it wasn't made by nature? He's a force to be reckoned with. He's
true.
all about nature in all his films all 2 of them that I've seen.
Have you noticed a theme, that something that he really, really does like to make his films around?
Yes, artificial intelligence.
Killing people?
He doesn't kill people in every film, but he does in this one, which is great.
Oh, yeah, he really goes...
Yeah, he kills a few. He kills a few people, 1 or 2.
He goes a bit ham in this one with the killing. He does. But...
Which you wouldn't expect. He does it in such a relaxed manner as well. We are talking, of course, about Pass Through. We haven't said the title yet. Neil Breen's...
It needs no introduction. I'm sorry.
Neil Breen's Pass Through. It's spelled wrong. I don't know why he chose
Apparently Americans spell it that way.
Yeah,
like drive through. I thought it was just it's a shorthand version.
I mean, it kind of makes more sense with the way compared to like how it's actually spelled, because it's got the word rough in it, so it's not spelled. It's not thruff.
I love the English language.
It's so beautiful.
You've got cough, Loughborough, Thru.
Oh Jesus! Unsubscribe.
Got some more.
Hiccup is an odd
words.
one. Yeah.
Got some more words with a GH in it.
Sophie, why?
I chose this film because...
God, why?
Because I can't remember which the Neil Breen film is that I really, really like. So I'm going to have to watch all of them again, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Expense. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the one that's got the doll heads in the desert? Because it wasn't this film either.
I know.
And I thought it would...
I
thought that this one was the tuna cans one, but it's not that one either.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
This man is unhinged. I always have. There's always something in there that will make me think this was a good idea to watch it.
Right.
And but holy shit! I mean, it was a struggle even for me.
How many minutes into it did it take you to go? This was a good idea. Did that moment ever come?
I'm right. Okay, let me just
come.
I think it was like an hour.
That's long, considering it's only an hour and 28.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna
wait a minute. This isn't the one with the tuna cans.
Listen, I was waiting for the tuna, but it's something else entirely. The premise of this film, very briefly, is that it's a very masturbatory film for Neil Breen, I think, because he is an artificial intelligence from the future who comes to Earth to wipe out all the harmful people on Earth and then just fucks off again.
An alien invades Earth and commits genocide.
Yeah, but in a really chill way, like super chill. I think the way
it's like the man who fell to Earth, but like shorter and not as good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was on my list. My second list.
That's a cool film.
Oh my god.
So we open with some beautiful shaky cam footage, some drone footage, a very orangey desert.
Don't forget the stock image of the orb.
Oh,
the
yes,
beginning,
of course.
yeah.
There's,
The red dot
the red
thing.
dot, which is like a laser pointer, a bit shinier, with a lens flare on it. Just a stock lens flare. And a tiger is just superimposed onto a rock.
It's so fucking bad. Everything about this film is bad.
It's really bad.
I'm sorry. I've got to try and keep this in. I'm sorry.
Isn't that
There's some
sort of
kind of-
tiger
Jesus.
meant to be like in like some sort of snowy tundra? Like I don't think those
Yeah,
tigers exist in.
I don't know.
In the Californian / Nevadan desert.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on, honestly.
Well,
He
you
just
could
saw
tell-
a tiger.
I had that thought at first, and then later on when he had the tiger on the same scene as him where he was looking at it, you could see the background had snow.
Snow.
Yeah.
Do you think it was...
Oh.
Do you think
Wait, there wasn't actually a tiger there with Neil Breen. Is that what you're telling me?
Do you think it was-
What the fuck?
a captive tiger that was at a zoo and it just got snowed around it? It was like in Edinburgh Zoo or something.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, it's got a name, Vyad, and I think its name is Vlad, and Neil Breen just misread the name
I think so too.
Yeah.
or just typoed it.
Because that is the most logical thing
Yeah.
that could have happened. I like the bit, there's some cave paintings at the beginning, very intricate. And you see this sort of furry arm come into shot with a
Jesus
bone, with a
Christ.
femur bone, and mashes some white flowers into a paste to use as paint and dots it on the cave. And then there's 2 clocks for some fucking reason as well.
For some reason,
I
yeah.
think I'm going to end each sentence here with "for some reason."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a kid's room, and he's artfully arranged his books on the universe on his bed. And he's got
And he's got little robots as well, little toy robots.
yeah, he's got a little toy robot and
I love
lightsabers,
those ones. The
and
little black one.
Guitar Hero guitars. Did you have a little black robot? That's great.
Yeah, there was like one, the really tall one out of the 3, and I had that one as a kid.
That's so cute. I had something called a dingbot. It was a Tomy dingbot. And
That rings a bell.
they're so
Ding.
good. A dingbot.
Have a look. Oh my
They're
god.
very cute. They're like little triangles. And
Oh
they
my
just,
god, it looks like Wall-E a little bit. Like
Yeah.
a 90s Wall-E.
Wally!
his eyes light up, and the mechanism like makes him make a squeaking noise when he moves. It's very clever because I tried to fix one. I gave one to Rosie and I fixed it up. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking work.
You were both adults
Yes,
when you gifted
this was like a couple
wasn't-
of years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
There's the dark mist. We get a shot of some dark smoke stuff
yes,
moving around.
Yeah, it's like a shadow. And then there's Hobo Neil Breen gathering rubbish.
Yeah, he's just digging through some trash, and I feel like that was like a behind-the-scenes shot that shouldn't have made it into the movie.
And there's a lot of shots that I think that shouldn't have made it into the movie.
Movie's very
Oh
generous
my
term
God.
for this, whatever this
Yeah.
is.
Oh, and there's people that are like migrants or refugees that are walking through the desert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're immigrants. I surprisingly did look at the credits, and they
G was
are
waiting for a post-credit scene for this one.
yeah. Because I remember you guys were like, "Oh, gee, did you see the credits in Twisted Pair?" And I was like, "No, I turned it off as soon as I could," but I paid attention to the credits this time.
Wow.
I know, brave.
That's crazy.
These kids were tracking the source of something, which I assume is the red thing that they were tracking the source of, which is incredible considering the laptop wasn't plugged in and he had 2 monitors on his desk that didn't have a PC.
Well, I mean, there's Wi-Fi. Did it exist when this fit was filmed? Yeah, sure it did.
2016, yes.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Also, there's a boy and there's two girls, and they all have the same bedroom, but just shot from different angles, up until a point where you see the girls get up and run away because they're on the phone to the boy, and they're like, "Come on, he's tracked it, let's go." And it's
a
the
very
same
strange living
fucking
situation.
room. It's the same room that they've just used again. Like, they're in different houses. They're like friends. They're not supposed to be in the same house.
Yeah.
They're not siblings.
They're not siblings.
They're mates.
They're mates, innit?
Also, there was a scene where the old man, I think this is like around the same time, where it just reminds me of that line that you guys keep saying, "Who am I? What am I?
What am I?"
The old man, and he says, "Where is it? When is it? And will I be able to make it?" Yeah.
He's dying. He's an old dying man. We later find out he's called the Professor, or they call him the Professor. I guess that's not his actual name.
Fucking Xavier, eat your heart out.
The Professor.
Oh my god.
He could have said anything. He could have said his name was anything. You know, he could have told these kids a complete fucking lie. There's no backstory. Anyway, he's just in a normal room. He's not hooked up to his drip or anything as well. He's just got it there just in case. Neil Breen lives in filth. He's got this dirty caravan with a dirty mattress and a dirty blanket. And I know that he caught a disease.
Hovel is what I called it.
Yeah.
I called it a hovel too because I knew you would.
Wow, that's crazy.
There's no way that he has these things. He just found these in the desert and he was like, I'm going to make a film out of this.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way that he was like, let's get ourselves a junker car, an old caravan, we'll set it up, I'll stain these sheets myself. He just found them.
They were nasty.
He probably caught something. And a man threatens him with a gun for being a mess, and then the immigration control will see that they're here, and so he hits him, and then he passes out. But
he throws money at Neil Breen and tells him to get rid of evidence or something.
Yeah.
And I put in my notes that it's a flashback, by the way. Someone with a gun throws money at Neil Breen, much like backers of his Indiegogo campaign for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That didn't reach the goal, but thanks to flexible funding, made Neil Breen £2,500 threw money at him.
Excellent. Yeah.
I literally put, there he is, the fucking homeless man of the hour picking up trash. Full stop. I'm following it. Full stop. I've lost it. Full stop. I was following it, and then like he did something, I would imagine, that just made me go, nope, don't know what's going on.
Well,
don't know what's happening.
He gets drugs, and then he just kind of holds the syringe to the foil and then injects it into his arm.
Without heating it up.
He doesn't eat it, and he doesn't move the plunger or anything on the syringe.
The desert is so hot, he doesn't.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
That is very true. And also, but how does it get in the syringe? He just holds it to it, and then he injects it, and then he passes out.
I think the more important question is, why is he fucking shooting up in the middle of the desert when
he's a heroin addict? Clearly, he's got like all these track marks.
Yeah. But isn't he meant to be some sort of AI super being?
No. G, have you been paying attention to this film?
Fuck's sake, G.
Huh?
This is just a normal human man that Neil Breen is playing.
But then the red glow goes on him, and then did you see him split in two?
I did.
And
it's like the double exposure.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's died, or he splits, or he's having an out-of-body experience or something.
So are there two of this guy? One of them is the alien and one of them is the human Neil Breen.
I think so. This is another theme that Neil Breen likes to have, is like twins or doubles or...
Oh my god.
He just wants more of himself on camera, really.
I totally agree.
Pays himself twice as much because he's both leads.
So I guess he took the form of some junkie for some fucking reason. Maybe because the junkie nobody cared about the junkie man, so like they wouldn't notice anything. Maybe I'm just putting too much into this, but
no, I think you're right. Makes sense.
I like there was a phone call between a boy and a girl, and they were saying, "Have you written any new songs lately?" This has absolutely no fucking point in the film. They're just talking about writing music.
The boy's written a couple of songs and he's proud of them, and the girl's written a couple of songs and she's happy with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. We
And
learn
then
so much. And then there's a 22-second shot of a bleeding hand slowly touching barbed wire.
I think it's Neil Breen's hand. I'm not sure.
We don't know. We don't see who it is.
No. But then the immigrants are forced to go into a pipe. And there's a blowtorch, a man with a blowtorch. He lights the blowtorch, and the effect of the blowtorch, because they couldn't get a working blowtorch.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like a stock image that they've put a fire over it.
I loved it so much.
Then they effortlessly push over a chain link fence and yell. I guess this is how easy it is to get into the US or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
well, this is why Trump had to build the wall, because it was just so easy back then.
This was 2016. This was when he got elected as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he hadn't built the wall yet.
This is why Neil Breen was like, "Got to build that fucking wall, man."
Neil Breen, I'm sure, has lots of opinions on immigrants, given all the yelling and tell him to go home that he says later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Jesus.
So then we cut back to there's a lot of chopping between scenes that makes it very fucking annoying.
Yeah, we see someone owns a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting shot.
I'm
sure G enjoyed that.
It's the cowboy man. The professor,
the cowboy man. The cowboy?
Is it the professor?
The professor?
Why do you think he's a cowboy?
Because there's loads of fucking cowboy boots, and there's like a saddle with like a thing to put the saddle on in his room that he's like dying in.
Oh my god, do you think that was a sex thing?
Probably. 100% actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old man is holding his mobile phone, and then he lifts it to his face and he's like, "Hello?" And I was like, how the fuck did he... It didn't even ring. It didn't even fucking ring. Just holds it to his face. The kid is his mate, I wrote down as well.
Which is normal for an old man to be friends with children.
Of course, especially if they're scientists.
Yeah. I thought maybe the boy was his grandson.
I thought that too. Because I'm sure that there was a point where he called him grandpa or granddad, but I couldn't quite tell, so I just gave up on that line of thought.
Yeah, I think it's just safe to never put too much thought into anything that comes out of anyone's mouths in any
impossible.
of his movies.
We go back to the immigrants. There's a lady that's 7 months pregnant with flour. She gets stabbed in the in the stomach, and all the flour comes out, and there's flour just falling off everyone in little bags.
She was lying about being pregnant, and it isn't flour, it is cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah.
They're smuggling...
Cocaine!
They're smuggling drugs into the country, and that's not good.
Yeah.
But then they take the drugs off them, and then they...
Who are they?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Exactly! Who the fuck are these people? Who is this faction? I thought they were like Border Patrol vigilantes.
I thought so too. I thought that they were Border Patrol.
They're human traffickers, clearly.
I think
why are they mad at the...
Because they're keeping the drugs to themselves and they just hate immigrants.
Well, no, because they're divvying out the drugs, and they list random job titles, because these are like the bad people.
For the stockbrokers, for the pimps, for the CEOs. This is for the lawyers.
Yeah, it's like...
This is for the bankers. And this is for the resistance? Of what?
Yeah.
Against what?
I don't know. Oh, don't forget the CEO gets drugs.
I did say the CEOs. I missed one because I didn't... They said the line so fucking badly that I did not catch what they said. So I was just like, well...
All of the acting and almost every line delivery is about as bad and unnatural as you could imagine it possibly being.
Yeah. I remember there was like one part when I think they were like pushing them and telling them to like, move it along. And one of the women was like, why are you talking to us like that? And I put... LeMayo real reactions, probably. These poor people weren't even told what the fuck this is.
Absolutely.
They're getting pushed around in the desert.
They were just like, just go with it, man.
So what I mean, I don't know what the actual name of this character is. It's the evil black lady who is like in charge.
She yells in such a fantastic way.
No.
She has no.
Awful.
No value to me on the streets.
Yeah, she's got kind of like a throaty yell, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's terrible. But she's constantly in that throaty yell. She never like deviates from that one.
She has
tone.
one mode.
Yeah, and
She's
it's shouty.
She's really going for it though. She's into her role. She read the assignment. She understood it, and she's yelling at this grandma and her grandson, and she's saying
they're of different race. Just a little. I'm not being funny. I'm just noting it because this does come up again. But related two members of the same family
that are completely different
one is
races.
white and one is black. Right, I'm just saying that. I'm just putting that out there now because it does come up again later.
It's an interesting casting choice, but I mean,
Who the fuck was in charge of casting? Neil Breen?
No way.
He was actually. Yeah, he was.
She says that they're no use to her on the streets, and so she shoots them, and they kind of just
Fall over.
They don't even fall over; they're just on the floor in the next shot.
Oh yeah. We never see them falling. They're just on the floor.
And that is again a thing. When anybody dies, you don't see them fall over. You see the gunshot happening, and then they're on the floor.
Yeah.
Why does he make the decisions that he makes as a director?
Well,
it's so weird, isn't it?
He did do a course on filmmaking because he had done 5 feature-length films.
I literally don't believe
and that was being shown in universities, he says.
Wait, when you say he did a course, you don't mean he went on a course.
No,
you mean he taught.
He sold it.
No, I thought
I believe that more than him actually going on a course.
Yeah.
Sure, I
and
believe
most
it
of
now.
the shots were focused just on his crotch. Like, he was sitting on a sofa and his legs were apart. You know, like men, you've got to have a little bit of spread to your legs when you're comfy.
We've got testicles, we've got external genitalia,
exactly.
ladies.
You
Come
do
on.
have to do a little bit of a spread there. You can't sit comfortably otherwise. But he'd set the camera up down low so that the actual focus of the shot was his crotch.
Oh, yeah. Get to see that. What do we call it? What would you call a bulge, G? Like
a bulge?
A moose knuckle? Or no, like a man's bulge.
Why are you asking me? What is this?
You're Australian. There must be a term for it.
What did the Cypriots...
Budgie smuggler? No.
You can see him smuggling a big fat budgie.
Yeah.
And two smaller budgie brothers.
Canaries. The eggs are there.
2 eggs.
Do you think he fucked the female lead in this
He
film?
wanted to.
I think he tried.
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah.
There are immigrants are being put in a truck. There are some men being forced into a truck.
Yeah.
Right? And
the men are split up from the women.
Yeah. And then there are some guys in another truck that are chasing the red dot in the sky.
Right.
And then
I don't think were they chasing it or was it just there?
Maybe it was just there. I think they were following it. I'm almost certain. But I could have been hallucinating.
Oh.
And then there are 2 girls running away, and this is the bit where they are family.
So good. It's so fucking good.
A Latina lady.
Yeah.
And a black lady.
Yeah.
And
the black lady is the niece of the Latina lady.
Yeah,
and
which makes sense.
The Latina lady says, your mother was my sister. I'm going to look after you. You have to run.
Yeah.
You're my niece. We have to keep running.
Yes.
We have to keep running. Your mother's my sister. She was murdered. I swear to God I would take care of you. You're my niece. We have to keep running.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exposition is just so beautifully handled.
Yeah. Really, really well done. I like how when they were closing the door on the women in the truck, like one of the doors was like still open, but they were like laughing and smiling.
Yeah, and then as soon as the guy shut the door to the truck, then they started banging on it. They could have escaped at any time.
I know.
Well, they couldn't because they get shot.
Well, no, when they're being
banging on
forced
the
into a
door.
truck.
Yeah, like banging on the door after the fact is not gonna really.
They were just,
No.
he put him in there and then he walked off screen and they were just standing there like, okay. And then he shuts the doors and they're like, oh no, we can't get out now, we're trapped.
No, we're trapped.
Um,
Oh my god.
And then Breen touches a rock and vanishes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I wish he vanished for the whole rest of the film.
That would have been a
nice.
that would have roll credits.
Yeah, that would have been really good.
And
You see the red dot on the
The handprint.
on the handprint, and Neil Breen touches it with his hand, and then
vanishes.
there's him and the tiger again, which and that's when we get the fisheye lens drone footage.
Yes.
Oh Jesus, it's so
Take
bad.
a shot every time there's a fucking drone shot in this film.
You would die. We'd have
Yeah.
to take you to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like so much filler.
It is filler. This is entirely filler. He's doing during these drone shots now, and all of this shit. He's talking over the top, and this is where it sounds like a fucking wellness, like a hippie doing a video. He's sort of like, I am AI from the future, and something.
I got the quote.
Go on.
The quote.
Oh, go on.
I am artificial intelligence. Wait, I'm saying it almost with too much emotion.
Get rid of that emotion.
I am artificial intelligence from far in the future. I have come here to cleanse the human species of their failing and decline, for they are far too weak of spirit and intelligence to do it themselves. And I'm just like, oh no.
Now, did you?
It's just going to be word salad nonsense,
Yeah,
isn't it?
the entire fucking thing. Did you write that down as he was saying it, or did you pull that quote from online?
No. Every bit of dialogue, I paused.
I am
I wrote it down.
Painstakingly
I rewound.
shocked because I completely tuned out during that part of the film, and also you saying it.
He's got a long monologue in the TV station later, and I wrote most of it down, and then I just gave up. And I was like, "What is the point? What am I doing with my life?"
It's just nonsense. It's just him going, "Oh, humans are dumb, and they need to be shown the error of their ways, and I'm basically Jesus." And he just says that in like 5
AI.
different ways, and I'm like, "Oh god."
It's weird because he's an artificial intelligence. Tick. He's from the future. Tick. He's also an alien. Tick. He has the power of space and time. Tick, tick. It's like everything. It's like he can do everything. I'm everything. I have every power. I can do anything.
He's always some really higher
Watch me
power.
lift these tin cans. This trash.
Yes. Fucking hell. The kids are tracking the dot, I guess, and they're talking about maybe the professor saying he was so sure this was the area, and then they say that again. There's a lot of words there are a lot of lines that they just recycle. They just give it to somebody else. They're like, "This is a good line. You could say that too."
Quite often, you get the actor saying the same line twice.
Yeah.
And Neil Breen just uses both of those shots in his final cut of the movie.
G wrote down, he was so sure that this was the area.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, God.
The line delivery from everyone. And I know that like with specific like when you look at any sort of show or movie, right? You know, you've got the actor, but you've also got how a scene is filmed and how it's edited to make it, you know, more convincing. You get the tone and the emotion across. So he has none of that, right? And, you know, there's no movie magic here whatsoever. So every line delivery is just, it just falls so flat because there's no editing magic. There's nothing to help anything along.
I think I said in our previous Twisted Pair, that was it. I think I said that Neil Breen might deliberately give bad direction to the actors to make himself look better.
I just think he couldn't afford anybody that would do it with it.
Or would do it for like, I don't know, $2 or something.
Like, is everyone involved in this film like non-union as well?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly, they're the ones that are going to be not striking at this particular time.
yeah, they're probably filming a fucking Neil Breen movie right now.
Yeah.
Out in a desert somewhere.
There are people being pushed onto a bus.
Yes.
And then the two girls are yelling lines at each other, but they're not facing each other. The aunt and the niece.
What I love is that when the guy puts them on the bus, he says, "You're not going anywhere." And I was like, seems unlikely. This is a bus. The whole point of a bus is it goes somewhere.
Yeah, but did you see the fucking state of the bus? That bus wasn't going anywhere.
I get that now. But it just seemed funny at the time.
But then, the people that were on the bus are now put into a shitty, in inverted commas, shitty apartment building.
No, the men are on the bus. The
Right.
women are in the house.
The women are in the
like
house,
one
which is
room.
a very nice house. It's got nice carpet, nice decorating. It is not a shitty apartment building. They've got numbers on the interior doors to make it look like they're different apartments. But they've just put like tins and newspaper around to make it look like it's a shitty
But
apartment.
like all the walls are like pristine white.
It's beautiful. On it, have you seen the carpets? It's so nice. And there's a bathroom. You can see a bit of a bathroom. It's fucking nice.
Oh, during that one amazing scene. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The aunt and the niece then find Neil Breen's shithole bus that he lives in, his caravan. And he's
the
like,
mobile hovel,
yeah.
please.
Sorry, they find the mobile hovel and he's like, you can stay here. She's like, no, I don't want to stay here. And I'm like,
There is
fucking kidding.
But I don't want to.
There's no scene in which that they show them meeting. It's just it cuts to them and they're just yelling. Well, he's saying, "I'll give you water and like you can stay in my hovel."
He literally offers them water so often as well.
Yeah, I don't know
they
where
never
he's.
take it.
I don't know where he's getting it from.
No,
This is piss, G. This is piss.
these girls would rather like just stay out in the freezing desert and scorching. Deserts are really cold at night, really hot during the day. They would rather risk it than stay with him.
I mean, if they're not gonna die from like I don't know a dehydration, they're gonna get tetanus living in that metal piece of shit. And he's like so like convincingly like, you gotta trust me. You just have to trust me. And he just does not look trustworthy at all. And
He
her,
just
he
comes
cleans
across
it.
as a psycho.
Don't worry, he cleans it.
He cleans it. He throws out 6 tin cans, 2 plastic bottles, a sock, and a roll of toilet paper.
yeah, because that
I
was
counted.
the problem with that space. It was all the
What are you
cans.
doing? Star, what are you doing? She's just like that. I hate it so much.
She was so bad. Her
It's like
acting
a
is
comedy,
so
innit?
bad.
Like he's chucking things out. Things are flying out of the door. And
Yeah,
she's
like
going,
a
she's trying to
sitcom.
dodge them.
Yeah,
And he's like, "It's clean. It's all clean." And he just
And he
smiles.
smiles.
And it's the most fucked up thing. That, like, I would run. I would absolutely leg it from this point. Seeing that
He
man.
looks like a fucking nutter, honestly.
Yeah, it's.
I put in my notes that I thought that G-Star Games would think that this woman. We later find out her name is Amanda.
we do.
Yeah. I put in my notes that I reckon G would say that she looked like Lara Croft.
No, I was too. I just had too much brain rot at that point.
Right.
No coherent sort of. Actually, no, that's not true because there are references throughout that made me think of other pieces of media, and we'll get to that point. We'll get there.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
We now get to hear about some of these immigrants' backstories.
God.
I don't remember whether this is the men or the women at the moment. It's the women first.
The women, yeah.
And they're saying, like, I hate the politicians in my country. They're so corrupt. They killed my husband. And it's like they're yelling these lines and stuff. And then we go to the men and they're doing their backstory and they say the same line. I hate the
politicians in my country. They killed my wife.
They're just fucking
so corrupt.
Yeah, they're mirroring. They're like, they persecute my family. They kill my husband. I'm pregnant. And I'm like, what?
And they've got drug problems. Basically, he's trying to get it across that they are fleeing their country because it's a shithole due to other people.
Yeah, and America's the best place to go for that. Like, to get away from that.
Absolutely. Then a man in a green shirt says he's going to run, but unfortunately, there's a man with a gun standing with the gun, like, basically pointed at his chest. So as soon as he starts standing up, he gets shot.
He doesn't even get to his feet. He makes like he's about to stand up, and before he like even gets like his ass 1 inch off the ground, he's fucking dead. Like, they do not fuck around, these human traffickers.
Nope. They're hard.
25 minutes in, nothing has happened yet, I wrote down. Then one of the girls, the shouty lady, is like, "You've been in the shower for ages."
That was so accurate.
And then she opens the door, and one of the girls has hanged herself in the shower, and she's going, "I need some help in here."
What's that?
It was just like Evangelion.
No! How dare you sully the good name of Evangelion? What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain yourself.
Oh my god. With Asuka's mother, it was just like that scene.
Oh my god.
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Super freaking horrendous. But
None of the other women seem to care about this because then they start arguing like they're at a sleepover. Like, you push me, don't push me.
Yeah, you keep kneeing my back.
And it's like...
Or like brownies that have gone camping for the first time.
Yeah, it's like...
Not that I've been in that situation, but I imagine it would be like this.
You've got bigger fucking problems right now than
worrying about getting kneed in the back while you're sleeping.
And also, like, somebody's just killed themselves in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, let's go to sleep again then.
Well, I put all these women like packed in a room like sardines, and then I said it's Neil Breen's fantasy.
It is. He really wanted them to have a pillow fight for that point.
Yeah.
Crackhead. He does another fucking poignant monologue over some drone footage as well. Again.
Yep.
Filler. More filler. I don't know what he was saying.
The most beautiful and poetic line of the movie, where he says, "I salute the light within your eyes, where the whole universe dwells. For when you're at that center within you, I am that place within me. We shall be one," which I think is a quote he stole.
Probably. I don't think he could come up with anything so profound himself.
No. 100% he stole. I think at the end of the movie it does say, like, quotes, and then there's, like, a few things listed. And I think he just stole.
He can barely string a sentence together himself. Like that makes sense. So,
yeah,
he did not make that up.
No.
The girl, the niece girl, follows him.
Oh, yeah.
And is confused when he vanishes because he walks up to a rock, faces it, and then vanishes again.
You know how in like a cartoon, when someone's confused, they just go, "Huh?" and then they scratch their head?
Yeah.
She does that.
She does
That's exactly what she does.
She's visibly very confused, but then she falls asleep. She's so confused, she just lies down and has a sleep right there on the ground. Okay.
This fucking film.
And then there's more drone footage and more droning on.
Hey! Yay! Droning on.
Yay! And, like, I don't know what is being said. I completely tune out at these points. She asks him...
I don't think I noted anything that was said there. I put that he does another monologue that is of no interest to anyone. That's why
she's like, where'd you go? And he was like, I went for a walk. And she says, you're a weird dude. I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
And
Understatement.
then the ant is following him. I don't remember this, but he gets a rock thrown at his face. Like, I forget why. I forget what led up to that point. And then
she was just out for a walk, and he walks up to her, and for some reason she's scared of him, really freaked out. She has a rock in her hand, and she says, "Don't come near me, I'll kill you, you fucker."
Yeah.
And he says, "I won't hurt you." Ah!
It's got the comedy sort of like the stock sound footage of as he gets hit with a rock.
It's great. It's a very satisfying moment of the film.
It did genuinely look like she got him headshot with that rock.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a real rock.
What?
I think it was a prop rock, as they call it in the business.
Wow.
What a shame.
Proc.
And then she feels really guilty suddenly, and she tries to dab at him with a tissue, and he's like flinching away from her like he's a scared like puppy, like a stray animal. He's like flinching and like, don't touch.
I was thinking it's like when you got some jam like on your cheek and your mum like spits in a tissue.
Yeah.
And she tries to clean it off, and you're like, no,
that's more disgusted. Like he was like acting like an injured like dog. Flinching, and she's like, just let me tap it. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, she dabs it at his face. She's quite a bit taller than him in this shot. I don't know whether she's standing on a rock or whether she's actually just really tall. And the rest of it's
on the
forced.
rock she hit him with.
Yeah, and whether the rest of it's just forced perspective to make him look tall.
Probably.
He does look like a tall dude though, but she does kind of look tall as well.
Then they're folding some rags up outside the.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ. Was this supposed to be a comedy moment? I couldn't tell.
I can't tell.
No.
Like she yells at how awful people are, and they're folding up these rags, and then they're giggling, and she goes, "You're right though," and he goes, "I'm fine. I am fine." And then he gets into the like rusted up, broken junker, and he goes, "I am fine."
I think he's having a mental health crisis.
He is.
Same.
There was a...
I'm fine.
I don't know why, but she was screaming about pimps and smugglers, but she says pimps, dillers, as in like Dillers.
Yeah, dillers.
Dillers.
Dealers.
Yeah. And smugglers. And I put those damn dillers. Because I don't even know what the fuck she was like ranting on about. I guess the bad people in the world at that point.
Yeah, she's
I wonder if I could do her cadence. She said, "The only monsters here are the pimps, dealers and smugglers, killing and abusing people, trying to get a better life for themselves, sneaking into this country illegally." She says illegally really loudly at the end. God, she has so weird.
She's like, you know when you're like trying to tune a radio and it's like going up and down, up and down?
Oh yeah.
That's what she's like when she's like delivering her line. She has no idea how to deliver anything.
And then she's like watching him like talk to himself in his car. She's in the hovel behind. And she says, "Who is this guy?" to herself. And then bam, it's the next scene. And she's like, "So what's your name?"
Yeah, and he looks right, this is fantastic. He looks at a pot of yogurt called Lighten Fit, and he goes, "My name is Till, spelled THGIL, but it's pronounced Till." And basically it's light backwards. He's just like looked at a pot of yogurt. I could be like...
And made up a name.
My name is Inisirg. It's spelled INISSIRG. My surname is Emases. EMASES. And backwards it's Sesame Grissini. Because I'm eating the breadsticks. I'm just looking here going, my name is Kidsburg. It's spelled Skitsdaerb, but it's pronounced Kisburg.
Oh my god. I can't.
It's so
it makes
painful.
It is. It's so painful.
And it's bad that she didn't work it out immediately. Like,
what do you mean? How do you work that out?
He spells it out loud for her,
and
a short word, and she doesn't go, that's strange.
I forgot where I was going with this. If you say, my name is Till, I've made up a name, right? My name is Till. I'm not going to fucking spell it so that she's going to figure it out.
Yeah. But I wouldn't sit there and go, oh, okay, like, that's like a reverse word of something that you've just found off of a fucking packet of yogurt or whatever.
My name is Till Tiff.
So this is at this
It'd be
point.
so good if he said his name was Danone. My name is Danone.
My name is Fruit Corner. My name is Muller Fruit Corner.
So at this point, because I think as the movie progresses, and obviously his like mission, his name is Light, but he also does like, you know,
like from Death Note.
Yes. When people start like dying, my
god! Like he's writing the Death Note and he's taking out the worst of society.
Yes!
Oh my fucking god! It's just like Death Note.
Confirmed.
But
Neil Breen is into anime.
Light was like a fucking honors student, not a fucking junkie in the desert.
Yeah. I think I realized it a little bit later on when he obviously does the mass killings and all of that shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, do you think he got inspiration from Death Note?
I think he just ripped it off. That's amazing. Because I didn't know that. I've never seen or know anything about Death Note, but my god.
So he writes like bad people's names in the Death Note and then they die, and if you don't write like how you want them, you can write how you want something to die. But if you just write their name in the Death Note, they'll die from like a heart attack within like 30 seconds of writing their name.
Cool.
But this guy, I mean, he's a level above that. He can just snap his fingers and poof, 300 million people dead.
Yep.
But yeah,
psycho, absolutely fucking psycho behavior.
I don't think that the amount of people that he kills in this film is enough.
Oh my god!
Now,
Sophie Christine Rogerson, what the actual
I will explain later, okay?
What the actual fuck?
I'll explain.
Oh my god.
He keeps offering them water.
I'm scared of you.
And he says, I feel vulnerable in this form. And then he stands in the Archimedean spiral and spins around to feel better or something.
Yeah, he sticks his arms out, he spins around slowly. It's a beautiful shot. It's wonderful.
And the kids are on the phone
art.
to the professor saying, like, they think they're near it, but then all the kids' phones have no power.
They don't say it's run out of battery. They just say, no, my power's out. Power's gone on my phone. My power's out too. Oh gosh, me too, no power. They just keep saying the word power.
Yeah.
They don't say my battery's out of charge.
I haven't got any bars. I've got no signal because I'm in the desert.
Yeah.
Like, there is no signal there.
So he's basically like, he's Desert Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait for you to watch the actual Desert Jesus film.
Oh my god. So then is that the shot where he's doing the circle thing? Where he's like standing in that circle?
Yeah.
Is that shot or was that later?
It's the scene that's got the music playing, and then instead of fading out, the music like drops to 20% volume, and then a few seconds later is muted entirely, and then comes back at full volume again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I found to be very weird.
I love that the kids were like, LeMayo, there's that deranged bomb.
There's
Let's
that
just
guy
leave
again,
him.
and then they just walk off.
They leave him to
end
just
of shot.
Die in the heat with just zero fucks. And honestly, mood, you know, I don't blame them.
I fucking love it. He has crap on his face, and the aunt asks him what it is, and he says, "I think I slept on the ground last night, in the dirt." And then he uses his magic to make a broken piano work, and they're also master pianists. He found a piano in the desert, and he just wanted to write it into the story.
Yeah. That was his inspiration. Just some rundown piece of shit piano.
Yep. The piano does not work. Their fingers are touching the broken keys of a broken piano, and there's this mega concerto of noise. And then he says, it cuts away, and he says, "You cannot travel the path until you have become the path."
Which I think is another quote he might have stolen, honestly.
I don't know. This one makes very little sense.
It feels like something you'd find in a fortune cookie, you know?
It does. This whole film is just inside a fortune cookie. The aunt, Amanda, realizes that he's made his name up, and she seems horrified. She's like, and then immediately asks if he's seen the future. Like, there's no... He's made his name up. It's
a
like
non sequitur, right?
Right.
Like, she figures out his name is light backwards, and like the cogs slowly turn in her brain, and she looks at him and says, "Have you seen the future?" How the fuck? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I was very angry.
But then he replies, "I am the future."
Yeah.
And then she asks, "Are you one of us?" And then she looks up to the sky.
Don't make sense.
Or from up there.
Doesn't make sense.
And he replies,
so angry.
Yes.
There's a lot of caps lock writing in my notes. I said, "What the fuck do you mean? How would you have figured that out? That it's light backwards? That doesn't make sense. He's a fucking heroin crackhead, and so are you." Then I put, "Well, he can reverse time. Wow."
Well, she believes him because he can make tins levitate. Like,
what did you make of the line, "I can move from one time plane to another. This is my reality, not a false human illusion"?
You know, when he grabbed that pipe, that tube thing, and he was like explaining that, I was like genuinely intrigued. That was like the only time of the film I was like...
That's because it's a Carl Sagan thing.
Yeah, he stole, yeah.
Right. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's because it's a genuine, like, an actual scientist was...
Right.
Because I was super into Carl Sagan when I was younger. He was my idol. I fucking love cosmos, and
that's why she wanted to be an astrophysicist.
It genuinely is. Like, I thought that
for me, it was Star Trek.
With two sides of the same coin, Simon.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I thought that he's fucking cool.
And look at us now.
Look at us now.
Talking about Neil Breen.
Imagine what could have been, Simon.
Imagine what could have been.
Imagine what could have been. Do you think you'd be doing research at this? Do you think you'd be teaching?
I think I would be just like out in the middle of nowhere, just with like a giant satellite dish, and I'm like typing numbers into a computer, and that's my life.
I would be working in Tesco.
Oh
yeah, I think you've mentioned this. You want to be a you want to stock shelves. Was that you?
Yeah,
that said that?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I also I liked Brian Cox as an astrophysicist. I thought he was dead interesting. He's like
it's his hair, isn't it?
It's his hair. He's a Mancunian. Yeah. He's got a lovely soft way of speaking. Then the tiger comes back in the film when he touches the rock.
Viad, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes on for ages, and its roar is a constant roar that is just a looped sound, and it really annoyed me.
It looks like shit as well. It looks like complete shit.
It is shit.
Like, not for 1 millisecond do you believe that tiger and Neil Breen are in the same place.
Now, we are 45 minutes into the film, and it's like some hippie's wellness tape I wrote down. It's just a hippie thing, isn't it? He's had an ayahuasca trip, and he's written this film. He's had a very spiritual thing.
And a what now? What?
and ayahuasca.
Sounds like a Native American thing.
It basically, I can't remember what country it is. I think it's South American, and it's basically like a drug trip where it's a very intense spiritual thing.
It's that drug that's very important to their culture, so loads of white people come down to do it.
Absolutely. Thank you, white people. Yeah. Thank you. It used to be mescaline, didn't it? But they have ayahuasca retreats, and they all just like they go around, they sit in a circle around a fire and take ayahuasca.
Like Jack Dorsey goes down there and takes some drugs.
I watched something on it, and some guy had to go to hospital. Like there was one person that stopped responding, and they had to go to hospital, like because they nearly died.
Oh my god! If only that had happened to Neil Breen. But
yeah,
that's not. He does say he has a line. Something incredible is about to happen. Humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to that web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect. And I know that's another quote that he must have stolen.
Absolutely.
100%.
But he spits facts that humans are dumb because they're all one, but they don't understand it. They don't understand that there is no such thing as race or classes.
He really said, like, fuck culture and race and class and all this
You're all
shit.
just... humans are one, and they don't understand, and they've evolved into a lesser species. And he hates that they've done this. They've just, like, basically got worse and worse. And then he segues into the manipulating time tube. He can compress time.
He can manipulate space, time, and energy. He can compress time. And then he just says dark matter, dark energy, quantum physics, the string theory.
Yeah, he lists things to sound a bit smarter. And he said that he can teach her.
Oh my god.
And then the tiger comes back again.
It's like he has a Padawan now, right? Like a Jedi Master.
Yeah. He's going to kill all the harmful humans. Now, this is why I was like, I don't think he kills enough people. Because surely everybody is in some way harmful to somebody else.
Right.
A lot of people are. There's basically going to be just kids left because as you grow up, you're going to fuck up some people's lives. Maybe it's just me fucking up people's lives. I don't know.
There's a lot of annoying kids out there.
There is.
And
like every time you've had
them as well. Like
a manager that's a piece of shit or like somebody that's bullied you, right? They're going to have to fuck off. They're going to have to die. People
Can we just
that
isolate that?
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to eliminate hundreds of millions of the human species. I'm going to kill them immediately.
And then this is one of my favourite bits.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite bits. We've got a green screen newsroom and they're on an ad break. There's two very stilted people. They're going, oh my God, I can't believe the politicians... they're all lying all the time, and I can't believe their views. And we're basically no better because we're lying to viewers about the politicians, and we're biased and prejudiced.
It's very important that the quote right here is. I'm sorry to talk over you, but I think it's very important because it shows that either Neil Breen is a terrible writer or they're terrible actors or both.
Yeah.
She says, "What an asshole that politician was. He is just so damn extreme and biased." Not biased. She says bias. And then she says, I think, "We're just as biased and prejudiced in how we present the news as the public is." And I wrote down in my notes, am I having a stronk?
Yes. Little strong.
She doesn't say prejudiced.
No.
She doesn't say biased.
But also... I think his writing and the acting is also terrible because they're switching between talking to camera and talking to themselves. Like, between them. They're going like, we're just as prejudiced and biased as well. And then in other news, and then they start talking to each other again.
You think you'd be more careful if, a hot mic in front of you.
Exactly.
Like, this is how accidents happen.
And then they very calmly say the president's disappeared. And also the Prime Minister has disappeared.
Don't say which countries.
No. And also The CEOs have disappeared. It's
The
as
board
if-
of directors and
Yeah.
management of major banks and insurance companies have vanished overnight.
It's as if all the harmful people on Earth are disappearing. That's a quote.
Which, that's not something you'd think a journalist on a live news broadcast
You can't
would
say
right?
that all the harmful people are disappearing. Like these people who are dying or disappearing are somebody's like family.
Yeah.
There's somebody's
Yeah.
dad that just fucking vanished, and it's like, wow, that harmful guy just disappeared, and the kid's like, oh, what? Harmful?
Daddy?
Um,
Daddy?
and then the
Yeah.
smuggler disappears. And Neil Breen is inside. Is it in the bus at this point?
This is in the house.
In the house, and
They're
he says,
yelling at each other.
"This is where he's
The
telling."
bus is first. The bus,
The bus is first, and he's saying, "Go back where you came from."
He
which
says
is-
to the fucking immigrants, go back to where you came from.
and I know that he's trying to say it in the context of you can make your country great right where you are because all of the shitheads have gone. You can do this, but basically it sounds like, don't come into our country. You can fuck off back home now. Go back to where you came from.
And that's ironic because he's an alien from a different planet on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, surely you should be taking care of your own problems on your own planet, rather
Till.
than fucking around on Earth.
Well, this is the thing. He needs to come to fuck around on Earth because he's been banned from his planet.
Has he
Oh
been
my
banned
God.
from his planet?
No,
Oh.
I was just making this up. But the shouty black lady in the house
Oh my
is now
God.
shouting at him.
Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing in my house? This is my universe. I will kill you. I will eliminate all the people like you that have ruined this planet. You are done. No, you are done. I'm done. Done. And then she
And-
vanishes.
Well, no, the thing is they stop
Right.
shouting. They're looking at each other. He backs out of frame because
Oh, yeah, he
she
has to
can't-
do that for the effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can't disappear. But the fact that she doesn't even bother doing anything, like up to that point, just backs
She just
away
stands there still whilst he backs away
and
so that they can have the special effect of her
then-
vanishing.
then disappears. And then he tells all the women to fuck off back to their own countries too.
He again says, go back to the countries that you came from. That's what he says. Literally, that is what
lead
he
a
says.
revolution.
Yeah, he's trying to make it sound good, but basically he's still saying to everybody, fuck
Back
off.
off.
Back off.
Also, why would he tell them to go lead a revolution if he's like clapped all the bad people in the world?
Yeah, surely there's no need for it.
There's
Yeah.
no need for a revolution now. This is what I mean. I don't think he's killed enough people. I think he needs to kill
Oh
more.
my God.
Kill
Thanos
more.
Breen.
Can't say that, Sophie.
Keep killing. Just keep
oh my
killing.
God.
She's basically Aaron Yeager.
Oh God.
I wrote down here good editing, and I can't remember why.
The mansion bit is next, and it's fucking
yeah.
dog shit. It's so
No, but
bad.
it's before. I wrote down everyone celebrates, but then it's the mansion. So I can't remember what bit before the mansion was. Oh, I know. It was cutting between two shots very quickly. It was like almost like half a second of a frame of a woman standing up in
Okay.
between two
Oh my
shots that
God.
were pretty much the same. Then we get to the beautiful mansion. The
And
green-
there's
the
two
CG mansion.
cops on duty. They're just
Yeah.
normal police officers. This is their job. They got families to support that love them very much, even though they're police.
They're not
The
really,
families overlook that.
I don't think they're even police. I think they're just security. They're just there to keep other people out. You know,
They look like
just
they're
doing the
dressed
job.
like British cops.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. But I don't think. I mean, I don't know. But he makes them
Anyway, they
disappear,
get fucking
Yeah.
they get fucking vanished. They're gone.
and he
they've been
manifests
snapped.
himself into a suit, which is great.
Oh yeah, he
He's-
does. Yeah, he goes
I
from
do like
homeless
that.
man to
He finally gets dressed and he goes into the green screen mansion where nobody knows their lines. They're stumbling over their lines a bit.
Oh my God.
The same people are in different, like, I don't know whether these are different rooms or different mansions altogether or different parties, or they're just, because various different people, but sometimes the same people are in a different group.
They're having a party in the daytime, and Neil Breen is just sort of mingling, a complete stranger. Nobody recognises him, knows who he is. And they're all revealing their darkest secrets with this complete stranger.
Because that's what the top 1% do. They just swing their dicks around and talk about interest rates.
I love the way that they go like, I can do whatever I want because I'm a CEO and I'm a bad person and the public doesn't have to know that. Basically,
Isn't that corrupt?
I love it.
Isn't that immoral?
Says,
Isn't that cheating the public?
He just
And no one ever replies to him when he asks these questions.
What do you say? You go, yeah?
Yeah, I guess it is. Huh, never really thought of it that way.
It feels like it's a bit of a faux pas to just sort of start yelling that at people. You know?
But even better was who was that guy? Nobody knows who he was. It was just...
I've never seen him before in my life. All the acting is so fucking bad in this entire scene.
Like
it's so terrible.
These were the best takes that he got out of these people. Like there's a woman that forgets her line halfway through and just carries on. He shuffles away from the mansion. Right.
He's having to walk in very small steps because he's obviously on a set with a green screen and there isn't a lot of room for him to move around. Yeah. So he's taking these awkward little shuffles and it looks like he shit himself.
Yeah. But even better is now the mansion just explodes.
Yeah. Mic drop, house explosion.
I wasn't even shocked when I saw like the effect of the explosion. I was just like, yeah.
Well, I mean, you've seen Twisted Pairs effects, haven't you?
Yeah.
So...
yeah. And there's a lot more explosions in that film. Yeah. God almighty. It's like default plugin explosion 1.
Then he says, if something can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. That's another thing that has it's probably not him making that up.
Yeah. Do you know what? Thank God he's a filmmaker and not like a cult leader.
Well, this is the thing.
He is he probably is.
At this stage, he's pretty much like he could tell people to do anything.
He's not. What's his name? Jared Leto. He's not Jared Leto. Like with his weird cult.
He might be, just not at the same level.
We go back to the newsroom, I think, at this stage. Is this the... Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because they disappear.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, the bra with the lady with the tiger tattoo.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's
not for a bit.
Yeah.
They go back to the newsroom and they're reporting that lawyers and bankers have gone missing, as well as reality TV personalities.
Yes, they're bad people. They're harmful. Well, he says, they repeat the line from before. It's as if all the harmful people on Earth are disappearing. They just reused that. They just gave it to the other guy.
Reality TV shows about families and housewives. Everyone involved in the production of those TV shows have disappeared. And also the fucking male news anchor says, the wars have stops.
Yeah, the wars have stops. And the people who caused the wars have disappeared.
God.
The tiger, then we come to the tiger, and the lady Amanda, some reason, lifts her shirt to reveal her tiger back tattoo. Like it has some fucking meaning. She doesn't take her
shirt off. She just lifts it up a bit so that the camera can see the tattoo.
Yeah, but it's like, why? What?
There's no reason for her to do this.
There's no reason for that. Like,
no, but she was also wearing a bra maybe like 2 minutes before that because you could see the bra marks on her back.
She has, I'm pretty sure she's wearing a very good bra because she's wearing that tight top and obviously you can't really see the bra. So I think she has a good bra on.
No, you could see that she took it off because you can see the lines at the back.
See the... Yeah, you can see the strap marks.
Yeah.
So do you think Neil Breen magicked the bra away from her?
Do you know what actually probably happened though? He saw that she had a tiger tattoo and he was like, "Oh man, we've got a tiger in this film. Would you mind taking your shirt off?"
Cast.
Or
that's the only reason he cast her.
Or maybe he had sex with her one night and saw that she had
You think Neil Breen has
tattoo.
had sex? Gee.
I mean, how does he convince all these like
He's a very rich man.
semi-attractive women to like lead in this dog shit movie? It doesn't make any other sense.
Films, really bad films, are filled with beautiful people. G, right?
Right.
Also, he's a very, very rich man.
Is he? I guess.
Yeah, he was a very successful architect. And now he's pursuing his dream of making films.
Can you imagine what one of his fucking houses looks like?
It's got newspaper
Like
and tin
Grover
cans.
House.
It's the mobile hovel.
You don't know what Grover House is. Shout out to my Something Awful listeners that got that reference. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
We're back at the very confused. Oh! They touch hands through the broken glass of the mobile hovel.
Yeah,
It's very moving. It's a very touching scene.
And then
I crowed.
this I crew too. We're 1 hour in, and I wrote this down because this is one of my favourite bits in the very confusing news studio. Because there's a blue woman at the desk saying, "I cannot believe what I am hearing," and then there's a woman and a man now at the same desk, but the woman in blue is now standing behind them, facing the camera side on, and then Neil Breen
it's a weird setup.
appears to eliminate them. So he just makes them disappear. And
They
then
call out, they're like, security, security! You won't need security. You're gone.
and
Then they just vanish.
he makes them go away.
And then Neil
And-
Breen sits down at the desk and he gives like this really long, weird fucking monologue.
Yeah.
Oh
he
my
looks
God.
massive as well. Like, the shot has been changed in such a way that he looks absolutely ginormous in comparison to the people that were sitting at the desk before.
The interesting thing about this monologue is like, how would like the world react if this actually happened? Because it just sounds like an alien declaring war on the Earth, and he's already committed genocide, and he's not going to stop. He's going to keep going.
And I also think that people would treat it like a bit like the Max Headroom thing. Like, oh, someone's hacked into a fucking news studio and they're saying they're AI.
He goes on about how like that humanity is abusing the media, films, TV, radio, the internet, and glorification of violence, corruption, as well as political correctness.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't even catch on to that one.
Now I want to know.
What the fuck?
I want to know Neil Breen's views on the woke mind virus.
Oh my god, he's gonna make a movie all about it.
Oh.
It's going to be like the COVID pandemic, only it's going to be the woke mind virus.
Yes.
Turning people
wait.
into zombies.
Can't wait. I hope he does. Somebody needs to influence him.
I lost my mind at the fact that the political correctness is destroying the humanity.
It's one of many things that's
He's like,
destroying humanity.
I'm not allowed to tell immigrants to go home. And I hate that.
So I think I think the only line I remember from him talking during the news segment was he said illegal wars, and I put as opposed to legal wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's the only part I like actually tuned in to pay attention to.
To be fair, in wars there are rules, and that's why war crimes are a thing. Because if they break the rules, so these are they're the illegal
Be gay,
wars.
do war crimes.
And he rants on for ages about how garbage humanity is at this point.
He says the line, "I have eliminated 300 million humans from the planet today. In human terms, I have killed them all."
He sounds very proud of himself.
He sounds insane. He sounds like an insane man. And of course, everyone is aware that all these people have fucking disappeared.
Well, yeah.
All these world leaders have vanished. And now there's a guy that claims to be like an alien artificial intelligence from the future on TV, broadcasting to like the entire world, saying that he's killed all these people.
And basically threatening, if you do this, if you carry on like this, you're gone too, is what I'm feeling.
And he ends it with, the cleanse has begun,
Oh
which is
my
terrifying.
God. It is. Like, do you know, this could actually genuinely be quite a scary...
A horror movie.
Quite a good film, you know, if it wasn't made by Neil Breen.
We need to get Topher Grace to do an edit of it.
Yeah.
Make it into a horror movie. Make it, like, shorter as well.
Yeah, much shorter. I think I did write down at the end, it was on my views at the end, this could have been a 20-minute YouTube video.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We go back to the kid who has located the red dot and he calls the girls. And this was where I realised the kid doesn't have a PC. And the shot of the girls reveals they're using the same room. The mad old man has waited his whole life for this. And the kids
He's a dying professor. He's not a mad old man. And
he
he's a
looks
cowboy.
fucking insane. And he's a cowboy.
Space cowboy.
G-Star games.
And they go and kidnap him.
He's a space cowboy.
They find a wheelchair and they put him in the fucking wheelchair and they take him with them.
I love the fucking shot of we see the wheelchair and then the camera slowly moves up and the kid's just standing there holding the wheelchair. And then he starts moving, says, come on, you got to come with us. It's like he was waiting for a cue.
Yeah.
And that's the shot that's the take that they used.
All the rest
Neil
of them
Breen used.
were just absolutely abysmal.
Jesus. But yeah, the three kids just manhandle this poor old man into this wheelchair. And then we see a car driving, and I was like, oh my God, who the fuck is driving the car?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. This man can't really use his legs very well. He's
What
not.
are the kids?
He's on oxygen, and he should not be driving. And then we see that he says, Dad, are you going to come with us? And he says, no, I'm just going to stay in the car and have a sleep. I was like, yes, Dad. Yes. Because he knows that this kid is always doing this bullshit. And he's just like, well, whatever. And they get the old man out of the car, into the wheelchair, and they start pushing him off. They leave the fucking car door open. I'd be pissed off.
I'm sure there's just a button and then the door can close, you know? It's got aircon.
What if a coyote got in there?
He's listening to his favourite tunes. He'll be fine.
What if the tiger gets in?
Oh my God.
And then what the fuck?
They find Till. The kids just bump into Till. And the boy says to him, it was you. All this time, it was you. Take me.
Yes. Oh my God. There is no... surely he knows the context of what that sounds like.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's upsetting.
Who knows what the inside of Neil Breen's fucking brain is like?
Either way, he won't fucking take these kids with him.
No.
He's like, no.
No, I got this hot MILF that looks a bit like Lara Croft.
I'm taking the Lara Croft MILF with me.
She's got this badass tattoo of a tiger. I'm really into tigers. Fuck me.
But don't worry, he compensates them.
He charges their phones.
He charges their phones and he gives them loads of plastic gems.
I think they're supposed to be diamonds, but they look like sequins because they're just like flat.
They're the
bedazzling
plastic
gems.
They're the fake plastic gems. I've got some.
Are they like the life counters that people use when they're playing Magic the Gathering?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I have them. They're like for crafting. They're just plastic gems and they've got a flat back and you can stick them on things. Some of them have their own adhesive.
Maybe they were genuinely bedazzling gems, you know, or vajazzling.
Oh.
Vajazzling.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got a bedazzler thing. Not a vajazzler, a bedazzler with a B. It's for buttholes. No,
I want to know why people thought it was a good idea to vajazzle at one point. That's what I'm going to bring
it. I want to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Who wouldn't like going down on some lady, right, and being greeted by just
a disco ball?
Imagine,
I would just laugh. I think I would just laugh.
A man goes down there and he pulls back the lady's pants, and you see it like the case in fucking Pulp Fiction. It's just glowing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
oh my
LEDs.
God, is that what was inside?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was a vagina with loads of diamonds
solved
on it.
We fucking solved it after all these years.
I'm gonna get LEDs instead.
Pog?
Flashing.
Where's the battery pack gonna go? Don't answer
Don't
that.
ask. Don't
Don't
ask.
answer that. Do not answer that.
That's why women have so many folds and pockets, so we can keep our batteries in them.
Yeah.
Anyway, the aunt has lost her niece, and then she hugs Neil Breen for some reason. She's like, I don't know where she's gone.
We have to find her! Please! She's gone missing! We have to find her! It's so bad. She's so bad.
And she hugs him, and he's got his arms straight out, almost like a T-pose, because obviously an alien has no idea what this means.
He wanted to touch her ass. I saw that hand hover over her ass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he wrote this into the fucking script, but as an alien, he's thinking like, oh my god, what is this concept you humans call love?
Why is the blood all going down to my nether regions suddenly? This is most peculiar.
The camera pans down and he's got an erection like in Beverly Loughlin.
Oh my god.
But then she hugs him for ages. And he forgot to kill the man with a gun that we see for some reason. We'll find out who that is in a bit. The niece is wandering near an abandoned mine, which is
this a real location?
Yes, I'm sure it is. And I'm sure that it's perfectly safe to film in and be around. I
100% do not believe that they would have spent money on making a set.
No, they only had like $2,000 to do this. How are they going to make a cool mine set?
The $2,500 from the Indiegogo wasn't the whole budget of the movie. That was just a little bit extra for post-production and stuff or whatever. That was not like the entire budget. I'm sure the actual budget was a few $100K.
Probably
maybe
was.
Even 20 million.
It could have been as much as 300 million.
I reckon around $20,000 he's making these movies for, honestly. So it must be around that.
Yeah. But
the mine, the old-timey mine.
And the Amanda sees, she goes, look, there's her footprint.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's a fucking like ranger or something.
They don't even bother to show the footprint, but yeah.
Well, no. She can tell it's her footprint.
Yeah.
This is my niece's footprint. I'd recognise that anywhere. She might as well have just said that.
She only has 2 toes. This is her, you can tell.
They enter the mine, we hear Kim screaming, and then there's 2 minutes where there's literally nothing but shots of like tunnels.
Yeah, but you please
Jesus.
And really loud
that,
walking.
Yeah. And the screaming is another stock sound. You know that classic, I'll try and find it. Stock scream woman.
There's like a CD of free sound effects that Neil Breen uses, and this scream is on there.
Yeah. It's just like the little, like, like, used over and over again. It's just ridiculous. It's so bad.
Just like this movie, baby.
I think I found it. It's just female scream sound effects on YouTube.
Yeah, it's literally one of those.
It is. And they're walking through all these tunnels for ages, and they hear the screaming, but like Neil Breen's not in any rush to help.
No, they're just walking like at a normal pace.
He's just looking at some rocks and some like lighting and climbing down a ladder and stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be touching any of that shit in an old mine. It'd probably cause a cave. You'd cause a cave in.
And we meet Jim. He is the creator of shadows. Apparently,
those shadows. You know the black shapes moving across. Apparently, that was him.
Except it isn't, though.
It isn't,
because later on, there's something that contradicts that.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that she's laughing and she's just giggling away.
And he's a good person as well. He says, "I'm a good person."
Yeah.
Which is something that's, if someone is a good person, that's definitely something that they would say.
It's like the kind of thing that if they say, I promise I won't murder you on our date.
Yeah.
And they're giggling while he's playing with a rope. And the aunt Amanda comes in and she immediately threatens to kill him. Immediately, like not even.
She's very protective of her niece.
And I was
clearly.
like, he was very justified in being in hiding when there's women like this out there just threatening to kill him.
Oh my god, so true. Men, we all need to hide in a cave somewhere.
And she says, Kim says, we were just playing. And I was like, what the fuck? They're like in their 20s.
Oh, yeah, like how old is Kim supposed to be? Because she's about the same age as her aunt, right?
Yeah, I would say that she is like that she looks early 20s.
Yeah. She definitely does.
Jim also looks like he's in his 20s.
And I'm pretty sure he's a veteran as well.
Yeah. I wrote down, Jim is not a ghost.
That would have been great. If they need to, maybe if Neil Breen made like, I don't know, a supernatural movie, maybe something with vampires. That would be pretty good. That would
stop encouraging, ideas for Neil Breen to make more things, please. We don't need.
I don't think he's a listener of YOMP.
Hello, Neil Breen. Biggest fan. Well, we'll at the Patron shout outs, we'll find out, won't we?
No, we just.
Oh my god!
You know when you like
producer.
say something, you materialize it. Just stop. The universe is listening. We don't need more Neil Breen anything.
Wouldn't it be terrible if Olivia Wilde just sort of came to Bristol and I met her and
she wanted to go out for
Mary
coffee
Elizabeth
with you.
Winstead as well?
And
that'd be.
They really like
I'd
you.
hate that. That would be bad.
In the film,
sorry.
The audio is so echoey that there's just one bit where there's ADR that says that Neil Breen says that they're leaving, and then the rest of it is not dubbed over, so it's really echoey.
Yeah, because he probably wanted to add that after the fact, but couldn't, add the acting, so he just put it as a voiced over line.
There is the line when Till, aka Neil Breen, says, "We are leaving here now. I've seen the past and I've seen the future. We're going to a better place." And I was like, oh my god, is he going to kill himself? Oh my fucking god.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh Jesus, that'll take a turn.
Really? That would take a turn? The whole movie is a whole... It's like
whole
a circle. It's a circle. There's like the spiral.
It's like the tube that he was saying. It's compressing time.
Oh god.
And he says, "You are now free of PTSD," to Jim. And I'm like, that's one of the rhymes that he did make up. I'm sure of it.
He's doing miracles like Jesus Christ.
Yes.
He's cured Jim of his PTSD, and then he brings the grandma and the little boy back to life who was shot at the start of the film.
Yeah, they're not dead. They're not dead anymore.
They are not dead who live in the hearts of those they left behind. And I was like, that's very wise, Neil Breen. That's another quote you've stolen.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
But then he literally just brings them back to life. So they live on in general.
Yeah, they literally live on. Now they're alive.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just being spiritual or something. Like, they might be dead.
He was. And then he was actual real.
We get the ex-husband of Amanda shows up and he's got a fucking gun.
So this is what I mean. Neil Breen, why did you not
this.
fucking kill the guy, the abusive ex-husband?
No, because she said, don't get involved.
I know, but
Amanda tells Till not to get involved.
Yeah.
And then for her trouble, she gets fucking shot in the head. And so does
hilarious.
her niece.
Point blank, might I add. And this is another bit where there's a stock scream and they're just kind of on the floor afterwards. They're just on the floor.
Yeah.
They're fucking dead.
They're dead. But don't worry, Neil Breen's got a plan.
He says, "Don't shoot. You can't harm me." And then he makes the guy turn the gun on himself. The ex-husband holds the gun against his head. It's like he's being forced against his will to do it. He's struggling, and then he shoots himself.
In the forehead. Not in the head.
Yeah. Literally.
And then he's immediately on the ground again. Like, And it's a fantastic shot. It's beautiful.
Doesn't even point it at his temples. It's like it would have been like a flesh wound at the front of his head.
It would have grazed the front of his head.
Yeah.
Would have had a small burn.
I was so mentally checked out at that point. I was like, I don't even care. Just let it end.
And we're like, oh my god, they're dead. The Amanda and her niece are both fucking dead. But then Till brings them back to life. And he says, let the light be in your eyes.
Hooray.
They're alive again.
Yay.
And Till and Amanda, they're going to head back to his home planet, clearly.
Yes.
And Kim refuses to go, and she has basically a fucking meltdown and a tantrum. Kim's like on the floor, she's begging, I don't want to go, I'm tired, I'm too tired to go on 1,000 light year journey. Please, I just want to stay, please.
Let me sleep, please. I don't want to go.
She cries.
Sobbing uncontrollably.
And then she just walks away. And then the fence that was knocked down at the start
repairs
of the film,
itself.
it's such a stupid shot. Why? What was the fucking point?
And then
God.
Another clock appears.
Yeah, and it's got a red dot on it.
Wow.
Because he was going on about how there's like 3 dimensions or something, right? Or...
There's more than 3 dimensions, G. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
For
Fucking
God's
hell.
sake.
My bad.
And then Amanda and Till are like almost holding hands, but then they start like fingering each other's fingers.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they're playing footsie, but with their little fingers. Just sort of like touching it. It's
So,
very weird.
It's like when someone tries to hold somebody's hand and they sort of like get their pinky finger and they're touching their hand, but she's pulling her hand away like, I really don't want to hold this guy's hand. I really don't want to.
I just saw you scratching your ass earlier. I don't want to.
I know. I've seen where you've been living, dude. Don't touch me.
It's clean. It's all clean.
It's all clean. Then the professor sees it, whatever it is.
The red dot?
I guess so.
The sky?
But he's very happy.
He says, I lived to see it. I've waited my whole life to see this. But we don't really see what he's looking at.
Genocide.
Which is very odd.
Yeah, because then we see
all
of the bodies surrounding them, but and they seem quite happy. Like, Amanda's still happy.
Yeah. All the people that vanished, all their fucking dead bodies are here in the desert right now.
Yeah, but
messed
basically,
up.
It's the same few bodies copy and pasted, because there's a guy in a checked
What
shirt.
are you talking about? No way.
There's a guy in a checked shirt that just keeps appearing over and over again. It's very
I'm pretty
funny.
sure Neil Breen actually hired 300 million extras for this scene.
Listen, if you can't make them just change a shirt and lie in a different position, just to make it a slightly bigger pool of things to...
Bouphe, no amount of attention to detail will save this movie. So honestly, like, I just accept the mediocre choices all throughout.
You're right.
She's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
She's out of line, but she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. She's going, but then she says, "Will I see you again?" to Neil Breen.
Which is weird, because I thought they were both leaving together
yeah,
right
I did
now.
too. But I think that he can't go. He's still killing people.
Oh, Jesus. The cleansing has just begun, so he has to stay
He
and
has to
complete the
stay.
cleansing.
And I thought, and then there was a shadow that passes over. And I thought Jim made those shadows. I thought that was Jim.
No, apparently not. Weird, isn't it? It contradicts what was the whole thing earlier about him making shadows. He's the shadow master or whatever.
Yeah.
Very odd. But the ending of this film reminded me of the ending of Extro. Not the ending, but the one when, the son and the dad leave. I was like, huh.
Isn't there like an Aurora Borealis looking shit going on? in the sky.
Yeah, there's a lot of green shit in the
It was all
sky.
over his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his face.
What's wrong with your face?
Oh.
This scene goes on for ages.
It really
There's minutes and
fucking
minutes
does.
of this. Of the sky, of shots of the desert. With
He
the
vanishes
sky.
the bodies now because they were there just to impress her.
Weird.
I wrote down longest ending ever, and then he finally gets the wobbly glass effect all over his face.
It's the same sort of wibble that we had in
Scooby Doo.
the no, the Prestige. You know,
Oh.
it was the same wibbly effect.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
I thought he was about to have a flashback because that's like this flashback effect.
Yeah. It was, and then it ends. It's the longest ending ever.
It's so long. The music isn't long enough for the scene, so it loops a couple of times.
in really stupid places. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Like, you can loop things. But
So funny.
God.
Fucking hell. But yeah, that's the end of the film. Thank God. Thank
Yep.
God. Thank God.
uh,
It's over. It's finally
Holy shit.
over.
holy shit! I wrote down that is shockingly boring.
Yeah.
Right. Our final thoughts. Sophie, this was your pick. Would you like to summarize your thoughts about
Yeah.
this film and your rating out of 10? if you
Absolutely.
would?
Shockingly boring. Could have been a 20-minute YouTube video. He had a message to tell the world and did so badly. Some extremely funny parts. 2.5 out of 10 needs work.
Ooh. 2.5.
Mm.
Now, let's just check. Twisted Pair, you gave 3 out of 10.
Yeah. So
So this was not quite as good.
it's not quite as good. It was very... In fact, I'm lowering it to 2 because if I gave Twisted
Oh my
Pair a
God.
3, like, that was way more coherent. And there was some
Okay.
very funny bits in
Is
it. but...
the coherency in the room with us right now?
Shut up! The Twisted Pair was slightly more coherent in the grand scheme of things. This one was just fucking boring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not my favourite. It's not my favourite. G-Star Games. Or shall we go to Simon or shall we go to G?
Simon, you can go.
Okay. Right. Honestly, and without hyperbole, I think this might actually be the worst film I've ever seen. Because I've watched a lot of bad horror films, and there's always at least something good about them. Often just the concept, or like the first 10 minutes is really good. This is not good. It's not got a good 10 minutes in it, this film. I thought the music was pretty decent in places.
Yeah.
No cap. Everything else, terrible. The story, the acting, the effects. I thought the film was like utterly without charm. And I honestly believe that Neil Breen is a psychopath. I gave it 0 out of 10.
Wow.
I gave it 0. I gave it 0.
I was about to ask, if are we allowed to give movies a 0? So I guess that answers that question.
G, you gave Twisted Pair a 0.
So yeah, absolutely allowed to give it a 0.
Yeah, it's a 0 from me.
You can't give a negative score. Just bear that in
No,
mind.
I just thought like, do we have to? Because I know on like Letterboxd, I think Bouphe said that you can't give things a 0, so she has to give it like a 1.
Yeah,
I think
unless
you
I'm
gave-
just not doing it right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was boring. It's like Bouphe said, it like could have been cut down so much. He's just got this obsession with like artificial intelligence for some reason.
Yeah, he really does.
And there's just, it's so incoherent. And like I said, I don't know if he had like, better people, better actors, better editing, better whatever. And, could he make something a bit more cohesive or a bit more entertaining or whatever the fuck. But I don't know. I really don't know.
We've been through that. We've
I
had the
know,
same discussion
But this is
last time with Twisted
but this is
Pair.
my second Neil Breen movie, and I'm thinking he clearly just sucks ass. So, I'm trying to like find a saving grace for this man, but there's none. It was just so boring, and like anytime it was hard work, and anytime I didn't need to take notes, I was reveling. I was savoring those moments. When he was doing like his long shot drone.
You just have it. Yeah, I went on Reddit for a bit. Like, I chilled out.
Any time that was like anything like that, I was like, fuck yeah, I don't have to take any notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 0. Sucks so bad.
It really sucked. Yeah.
Wow. That 2 from Bouphe, that's its final score. 2-0-0.
That's amazing.
Twisted Pair got a 3-0-1. I gave it 1. So this is our worst film that we've watched.
I think so, yeah.
Dog shit. Terrible film.
Is there any like trivia for this one?
Trivia, it was bad.
On IMDb, there's something that it's clearly made up. Someone clearly made this up. And it says, production was briefly halted when Neil Breen rewritten his character from a Down syndrome Plutonian to a Messianic entity. It's clearly someone just made that up. Just to make joke, just to get a laugh.
Joke. Good laugh. Someone who can't even string a proper sentence together has written that.
That's the only bit of trivia that's on there. So there we go. That's it.
Oh God, that's fine because then at least we can just like move on. We can just move on, right?
We can't even talk about did it bomb because we don't know what the budget or the box office was.
It fucking bombed. Let me tell you, it bombed.
Wait, sorry, but like the Tortured Crossing, I think has come out. By the way,
yes, it's being shown. The Tortured Crossing is being shown in cinemas around the globe.
Jesus Christ.
It's got a 7.6.
Been doing festivals and stuff.
It's got a 7.6 on IMDb with 637 ratings.
I'm sure it's going to be much better than this clusterfuck.
Sure.
Do you think it would make a good video game?
No.
It's not a good film, so...
No.
It was just...
Maybe.
Just what the fuck?
But if it reminds you of that video game that we played during Tiny Teams, the LSD trippy one. When
that
nothing
was
makes
way
sense.
better. No, that was way better, G. That was
Did you
so
play
good.
LSD Dream Simulator or whatever?
Pretty much. It was very trippy.
Oh God.
It made more sense than this film.
I much preferred it because at least it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said that it bombed or something?
No, we don't know.
It's
We got
fucking
no idea.
shit. So
Got no idea if it made Neil Breen any money, but he keeps making these fucking films. So maybe he just does it out of the passion of filmmaking, not to make money. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Wow. Is it time to roll?
I think it is. Yeah, I cannot.
You're out.
I cannot. I'm out. But there's nothing else to be said, is there?
Nothing more to be done.
There's no trivia, and even if there was, it's probably made up.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I just like that we're moving on from our lives.
We have to move on.
You need to post that thing that you sent us this morning when this episode comes out.
That meme, yeah. So I spent half an hour making that instead of finishing watching this film.
Would you like to explain to viewers, to listeners, what it is in case they can't find it?
So you know when Homer Simpson, he quits his job, but then he's this is back in the past. He quits his job, but then he realizes Marge is pregnant with Maggie, I think, right? And he has to go back to work to get a job to make money for his family. And Burns puts up a sign that says, "Don't forget you're here forever," on the wall. Sign this fucking sign on the wall. And Homer like puts up little pictures of Maggie so that it actually will then spell out "do it for her." So he covers like the letters. And what I've done is I've recreated that, but I've put pictures of G and Sophie instead of Maggie Simpson.
I don't know why you're doing it for G. G doesn't care whether you do things like this or not.
Wow. That's nice, isn't it, G? That's nice.
Crying and shaking, shitting and pissing.
Oh my god.
It made me laugh.
Okay, right.
It made me
I'm
laugh
mentally
a
burnt
lot.
out. Please roll a dice.
Okay, it's just the two of us. It's just the two of us.
We can roll them if we try.
Just the two
Okay.
of us.
Me and G, what number on each of our lists? It's 5, which means we're watching Krull or The Great Gatsby.
PogChamp.
Is that what it's actually called? The Great Gatsby. Yeah. With
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, right.
Tobey
or
Maguire.
the epic fantasy movie Krull. Please, dear God, please let it be Krull. Please. Okay, so an odd, we're watching Krull, and even we're watching The Great Gatsby. Please. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. We're watching The Great Gatsby.
What's your
2013 movie, Leonardo DiCaprio.
What's your problem? What's your problem with The Great Gatsby? You're just being prejudiced again.
Yeah, I think he's he's not. Have you seen it, Simon? You don't know
no.
whether you don't know whether you're going to enjoy it because you enjoyed The Greatest Showman, didn't you?
Well, I'm sure we'll be better than Pass Through. I'm sure we'll be better than Pass Through.
Anything.
So, yeah.
Not a high bar, is it?
So, for that one dude on Reddit, it's The Great Gatsby.
What year? 2013.
2013.
Because there's one from like the 80s or something as well with Robert.
Yeah, we're not watching that one. No, we're watching the Leonardo DiCaprio one.
The Capanos.
The Captain.
The Capanobs.
And the Tobey Maguire.
Do you want me to add a thing to my list now, or would you?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
to wait?
No, you can replace it.
Let's replace Pass Through from my note.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
notes. Let me see. What do I fancy? I think I'm gonna go for something a little bit interesting and go for Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's a good one. Right, okay.
I'm trying to make up for it.
Thank you. Under the Silver Lake with Spider-Man.
With Spider-Man!
You like Spider-Man, don't you, G-Star Games? Andrew Garfield?
You know that man, don't
Yeah,
you?
I like Andrew Garfield. He's pretty cool.
And it's 2018. It's a new-ish film.
Oh, interesting.
I have no idea what else is on my list, but
Labyrinth, The Hidden, Raw Force, Beverly Hills Cop 3, and Cemetery Man. That's your list.
Okie
Yeah. And we are watching The Great Gatsby. Jesus Christ.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
You should hear all the outtakes that I do for these patron shout-outs. I can't get it right. I cannot get the intro right. Reading the list out is fine. But as soon as I have to ad-lib anything, it's out the window. But thank you for listening to this week's YOMP. Our patrons, I feel really connected to and I love very much because you are the ones who support us doing this. It's fabulous, and I'm really hoping you're enjoying it, all of you, but especially our top tier Giga Yompers. Thank you so fucking much. I swear. Oh, I'm not allowed to swear. It's my podcast. Yeah. Thank you, Cornelius Vander. Thank you, Enki. Thank you, a robot. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Luck. Thank you, Native Blood. Thank you, Scott. And thank you, Sleepy Deej. You guys are fantastic, wonderful human beings. You knew that already, but we just really appreciate you spending money on us. Thank you, and I will see you next week. This is what I mean. I can't get it right. I'll see you next week.